विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च। मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्। गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता। भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। गीतायाः पुस्तकं यत्र यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै। यत्र गीताविचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्र अहं निश्चितं पृथ्वीं निवसामि सदैव हि। चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुन वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वार्थज्ञानसंयुता। अष्टादश जपेन्नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः ज्ञानसिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदम्। गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। गोविन्दं गोकुलानन्दं गोपालं गोपीवल्लभं गोवर्धनोद्धरं धीरं तं वन्दे गोमतीप्रियम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। नारायणं निराकारं नरवीरं नरोत्तमं नृसिंहं नागनाथं च तं वन्दे नरकान्तकम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। पीताम्बरं पद्मनाभं पद्माक्षं पुरुषोत्तमं पवित्रं परमानन्दं तं वन्दे परमेश्वरम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। राघवं रामचन्द्रं च रावणारिं रमापतिं राजीवलोचनं रामं तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। वामनं विश्वरूपं च वासुदेवं च विठलं विश्वेश्वरं विभुं व्यासं तं वन्दे वेदवल्लभम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। हरिनामकृता माला पवित्रा पापनाशिनी बलिराजेन्द्रेण चोक्ता कण्ठे धार्या प्रयत्नतः। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। अस्तु, so we should start shloka number 4, right? We did until shloka number 3.
अध्याय महोदय
5th Panchadhyaya.
धन्यवादः।
So in the last class we had a lot of discussion about this may, the word may in the first shloka. Basically I sent a message, but just in case if somebody missed the message, I just wanted to clarify here also. So basically here may should be taken as chaturthi. Asmad shabdasya chaturthi vibhaktihi eva. षष्ठी विभक्ति अपि मे, किन्तु अत्र चतुर्थी विभक्तिः एव भवति, सम्प्रदानं कारकमेव भवति. So here for me, in the sense of for me. So this is the dvikarmaka dhatu, like Mahodaya said last week. Bruhi is a dvikarmaka dhatu. Dvikarmaka dhatus can have 2 karma padams in a sentence. It is not mandatory. They can have 2 karma padams. One will be the mukhya karma. The second one will be gauna karma. Mukhya karma will always be will always take the karma karakam, and with the karma karakam it will take dvitiya vibhakti only. There is no other way the mukhya karma can be represented. Whereas the gauna karma, if there is vivaksha of the vakta, vivaksha of the vakta means if the vakta would like to express it in a certain way, then it will take that karaka sambandha. So the dvikarmaka, the gauna karma can take either karanakarakam, it can take sampradana karakam, it can take apadana karakam api, if there is vivaksha of the vakta. Otherwise, if there is no vivaksha of the vakta, then by default it will take karma karakam. By the sutra akathitancha, akathitam, when nothing is mentioned, when there is no vivaksha, then by default it will take karma karakam and it will become the gauna karma of that particular kriyapadam. Okay, so the gauna karma has this quality. If there is vivaksha of the vakta, it can take karana karakam, sampradana karakam, or apadana karakam. Otherwise, it will take karma karakam and it will be in dvitiya vibhakti by the sutra akathitancha. Okay, so that I double checked. We did discuss that last week, but I just went back and double checked just to make sure there was no mistake in that. Okay, so coming back to our shloka number 4. So, Chandrasekharan Mahodaya, would you like to read?
Mata, my knowledge is less in reading. I'll attend few classes.
No worries. If you are
Hello?
okay, yeah.
Then I'll join with others, Mata.
Okay.
I have book everything, but reading knowledge is very less, Mata. So I attend few classes. Then I'll join with others also.
Okay, okay. No worries.
Don't mistake me.
No, no.
Sandosham.
Astu.
Dhanyavadaya.
Narmada Bhagini, patitum ichchati va?
महोदये अहं पठामि साङ्ख्ययोगौ पृथक् बालाः वदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक् सम्यक् भयोर्विन्दते फलम् साङ्ख्ययोगः पृथक् बालाः प्रवदन्ति.
One second, Bhagini. So in the Padavibhaga, Sankhya Yogau eva, Yogaha na, Dvivachanam.
साङ्ख्ययोगो पृथक् योगौ पृथक् बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकम् अपि एकमपि आस्थितः सम्यक् उभयोः विन्दते फलम्.
So in the Prithak Balaha also, Prithak and Balaha, there also Padavibhagam can be done. Okay, Padaparichayam api vadatu Bhagini. Sankhya Yogau.
साङ्ख्ययोगौ नपुंसकलिङ्गः द्विवचनं वा?
पुंलिङ्गः एव.
पुल्लिङ्गः కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజన్.
పర్వాలేదు, అందుకే that is the reason why I am asking. It is okay to make mistakes, that is fine, but if we don't attempt, that fear will always be there. I might make a mistake, I don't know, that will be there. It is okay, all of us in this group are learning only, so it is okay to make mistakes. If you don't know, we'll discuss.
ఇది ప్రథమా విభక్తి, ఇది ద్వివచనం. పృథక్ బాలం, పృథక్
Prithak is an avyayam.
పృథక్ బాలాः. బాలాः మీన్స్ బహువచనము, పుల్లింగ శబ్దः బహువచనం అకారాంత. ప్రవదంతి అంటే ఇది ప్రథమ పురుష బహువచనం, నా అవ్యయం. పండితాः ప్రథమ విభక్తి బహువచనం పుల్లింగः.
धातुः भगिनी क्षम्यताम् एकवारं प्रवदन्ति धातुः वच् वा वद् वा?
वद् प्र उपसर्ग वद् धातु
उपसर्गपूर्वकः. एकम् नपुंसकलिङ्गमा, नपुंसकलिङ्गम्. अपि अव्ययम्. आस्थितः అంటే ఇది స్థితः అంటే మధ్యం ప్రథమ పురుష ద్వివచనము.
So this is actually ksa pratyayam. Sthitam like that, but a upasarga. Okay, so it is like, say for example, the tishtati kriyapadam sthadhatu latlakara prathama purusha ekavachanam. The ksa pratyaya will be sthitah. It has a upasarga, so asthitah.
ఆ ఉపసర్గ ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం, అదే కదా
పుంలింగ ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం అనాలి, because pratyaya will again take linga vachana and vibhakti. Gatah gata gatam, for gam dhatu the ksa pratyaya will be gatah gata gatam, right? Like that for tha dhatu with a upasarga asthitah asthita asthitam in pumlinga, strilinga and napumsaka. So we have to say this is pumlinga prathama vibhakti ekavachana.
Samyak means the avyayam. Ubhayoho means
पुंलिंग षष्ठी विभक्ति
षष्ठी विभक्ति द्विवचनम्
it
అంటే
can be
దీనికి
saptami also.
ప్రాతిపదికం ఏం మహోదయ అప్పుడే మర్చిపోయాను.
Ubha.
ఉభా. ఆహా.
It can be saptami or shashti, but here in the context we have to take it as shashti vibhakti.
విందతే ఆత్మనేపది క్రియాపదము ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం.
బహువచనం. విందతే ఏకవచనం.
ఫలం నపుంసకలింగ ప్రథమ ద్వితీయ రెండు వస్తాయి. మరి ఇందులో ఏది వస్తుందో తెలియదు. ఏకవచనం
ఏది?
ఫలం. ఫలం ప్రయోజనం. ఫలం అంటే ఇది
ఫలం విందతే. So it is in it is like a karma padam. So napumsaka dvitiya vibhakti only.
ద్వితీయ చదవమంటారా?
పదార్థః
బాలాః మందాః సాంఖ్యయోగౌ సాంఖ్యం చ యోగం చ పృథక్ భిన్నం ప్రవదంతి కథయంతి పండితాః జ్ఞానినః నా ఏకం అన్యతరత్ ఆస్థితః ఆశ్రితః అపి అపి సమ్యక్ సాధు ఉభయోః ద్వయోః ఫలం ప్రయోజనం విందతే లభతే. అన్వయః బాలాః సాంఖ్యయోగౌ పృథక్ ప్రవదంతి పండితాః న ఏకం అపి సమ్యక్ ఆస్థితః ఉభయోః ఫలం విందతే. తాత్పర్యం కర్మ సన్యాసః కర్మయోగః చ పృథక్ ఇతి ఏ వదంతి తే నూనం బాలాః. జ్ఞానినః కదాపి తథా న వదతి యతః తయోః ఏకతరస్య ఆచరణేన మానవః ఉభయోః అపి ఫలం ప్రాప్నోతి. మాధ్వమతం అజ్ఞానినః జ్ఞానయోగః కర్మయోగశ్చ పృథగితి మన్యంతే కింటు ఈషత్ కర్మ సహృతేన భగవత్ తద్విజ్ఞానేన తజ్ఞానపూర్వకేణ కర్మానుష్ఠానేన చ మోక్షః లభ్యతే. తదేవం ఏకమపి సమ్యగాచరంతి చేత్ ఉభయోః ఫలం విందతే ఇది జ్ఞానినః మన్యంతే.
ప్రశ్నాः अपि सन्ति. अनन्तरम् एकं निमिषं भगिनि. रीड् इट्. गो अहेड्. बालाः किं वदन्ति?
సాంఖ్యయోగో పృథక్ ఇది వదంతి. సాంఖ్యయోగో పృథక్ న ఇది కే వదంతి పండితాః. కం ఆస్థితః ఉభయోః ఫలం విందతే. ఆస్థితః ఉభయోః సాంఖ్యయోగయోః ఉభయోః ఫలం విందతే. ఏకం కథం ఆస్థితః ఉభయోః ఫలం ప్రాప్నోతి. ఏకం కథం ఆస్థితః? ఏకం సమ్యక్ ఆస్థితః.
కరెక్ట్. సమ్యక్ ఆస్థితః ఉభయోః ఫలం.
సహ కయోః ఉభయోః ఫలం అవాప్నోతి. సహ కయోః ఉభయోః సాంఖ్యయోగోః
సాంఖ్యయోగయోః ఉభయోః
సాంఖ్యయోగయోగయోః ఉభయోః ఫలం అవాప్నోతి. వ్యాకరణం
పఠతు.
సంధిః అప్యాస్థితః అపి యుక్తం ఆస్థితః యణ్ సంధిః. సమ్యక్ ఉభయోర్విందతే. సమ్యక్ యుక్తం ఉభయోః జస్వ సంధిః. సమ్యక్ ఉభయోః యుక్తం విందతే. విసర్గ సంధిః రేపః. సమాసః సాంఖ్యయోగౌ సాంఖ్యం చ యోగశ్చ ద్వంద్వ సమాసః. కృదంతః ఆస్థితః ఆ స్థా ధాతుః కర్తరి.
క్ష ప్రత్యయం. उत्तमं भगिनि, उत्तमं. So अत्र क्रियापदं किम्?
क्रियापदं विन्दते
विन्दते द्वितीयमपि अस्ति
प्रवदन्ति
प्रवदन्ति प्रवदन्ति
प्रवदन्ति सो प्रवदन्ति इति क्रियापदस्य कर्तृपदं किम्
प्रवदन्ति कर्तृपदं महोदयेन कारकलन्त बागा रादु
అక్కడ వాక్యం చూడండి లుక్ ఎట్ ది అన్వయ గివెన్
बालाः बालाः
బాలాహ ఇస్ ద కర్తృపదం కర్మపదం
कर्मपदము
సాంఖ్యయోగౌ
साङ्ख्ययोगौ
పృథక్ కిం భవతి పృథక్ ఇతి పదం కిం భవతి
పృథక్ అంటే సెపరేషన్ అవ్యయం అవుతుంది కదా
it is an avyayam but in the relation wise how can you explain is it like visheshana or kriya visheshana or sambandha or what
ఇది నేను చెప్పలేను మహోదయ కొంచెం చూసుకోండి
it is okay no problem but what I want all of you to do is we have to start thinking మనకి తెలీదు అని వదిలేయకుండా తెలియని దాన్ని we have to start thinking only then we will be able to understand
that is karma
విశేషణం
product sankhya bhinnam karma yoga bhinnam product means artha is given as bhinnam so sankhya yogam bhinnam karma yoga bhinnam actually I also get confused this word sankhya yoga because second adhyaya says the title as Sankhya Yoga. Third Adhyaya tells the title as Karma Yoga. Here, Sankhya Yoga is there. Then in second Adhyaya title, single title itself is Sankhya Yoga.
So one second.
Here, Sankhya Yoga means Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga. Actually, yes, for more clarity, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhinnaha, Balaha Vadanti.
So here we have to take in these shlokas what we have to take is the Sankhya. Whenever Sankhya is said, we have to take it as the Sankhya Yoga, and whenever only Yoga is said, we have to take it as Karma Yoga. And here Prithak. So the Balaha Prithak Vadanti, Pravadanti. How are they saying about this Sankhya and Yoga? They are telling that they are different. How are they telling? They are telling that it is different. So Prithak Vadanti. So Prithak will be Kriya Visheshanam. What are they saying that is different? They are saying that Sankhya and Yoga are different. So Sankhya Yoga can be taken as Karma Karakam and Prithak can be taken as Kriya Visheshanam because it is describing how these two are differentiated, how they are being differentiated. So Prithak can be taken as Kriya Visheshanam. Balaha is the Kartrupadam. Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoganni veru veruga cheptunnaru. Like that we can tell. So veru veruga cheptunnaru. Ela cheptunnaru? Veru veruga cheptunnaru. So it is describing the Kriya. So it will become Kriya Visheshanam. Denni cheptunnaru veru veruga? Sankhya Yogalani. So that will become the Karma Padam. So that is with Pravadanti. Panditaha na. Kevalam in the shloka Panditaha na is given. So here we have to take again Adhyahritam of Pravadanti of the Kriyapadam. Panditaha na Pravadanti. But whereas the scholars here by the word Balaha it means people who are not knowledgeable or who are Ajnaninaha. Okay, people who are not completely knowledgeable about the Tattvajnana. In that sense we can take. Panditaha are scholars who have some knowledge of the Tattvajnana. So they don't say that. They don't look at Sankhya and Yoga as different things. Sankhya and Yoga are one and the same. Though they appear that they are different, though they appear like two different margas, they are still not two different margas, but they are the same. So Panditaha na Pravadanti. There Panditaha is the Kartrupadam. Na we label it as Pratishedaha and Pravadanti will be the Adhyahritam Kriyapadam. Anantaram Vindate. Atra Kartrupadam kim? Ekamapi samyak asthitaha ubhayoho phalam vindate. So phalam vindate, the phalam will be obtained. So phalam will be karma padam. Astitaha means ashritaha, means even if one is followed, there are two paths there. Okay, it appears like two paths, but let us say they are one and the same, but they are looked at a little differently. So between these two, you can take up any path. Okay, ubhayoho ekamapi asthitaha. Even if one is taken refuge in ashritaha, samyak phalam vindate, or samyak asthitaha. Actually, samyak asthitaha phalam vindate. So they will obtain the same phalam. They will obtain the same phalam. So here there is a little question from my side. Ekamapi samyak asthitaha ubhayoho phalam vindate. Here, what is the meaning? How can we take the meaning of the word ubhayoho?
Ubhayoh means Sankhya Yogam Kurvanaha तथा कर्मयोगं कुर्वाणः उभयोः अपि याकमेव फलं विन्दते.
So for both, whatever path is taken between these two, ubhayoho, of these two, phalam, the same phalam will be obtained. Whether you take the Sankhya margam or the Yoga margam, Karma Yoga margam, no matter which margam you take, phalam will be the same. So here asthitaha, how can we take asthitaha? Ashritaha, he who takes refuge in, right? He who takes one path. So asthitaha can be taken as kartrupadam. Asthitaha can be taken as kartrupadam. Phalam can be taken as karmapadam. And samyak asthitaha. So samyak, there is a significance for the word samyak. We will come to that later. But samyak asthitaha, he has to follow whichever path you pick of those two. That has to be followed in a perfect way. Samyak asthitaha. So samyak will be kriya visheshana to asthitaha. Okay. So here, basically, what this shloka is explaining is, many of us think that these two are totally different. Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga are two different things. But and even in the previous adhyayas, that is mentioned that it is different, right? In the third chapter, where was it given? In the third chapter, Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta maya nagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. So it is given. So before only it was told by me. Okay, loke asmin dvividha. There are two ways in this loka, which has been told by me very long back. Jnana yogena sankhyanam. The people who follow the Sankhya Marga with the Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yogena Yoginam. Okay, so that has been told earlier, though they have been told as they are two different ways, but now we have to understand that the Sankhya Margam and Yoga Margam are one and the same. Sankhya Margam is Samichina Akhyana. Okay, so that is called Sankhya. Basically, the Tattva Jnanam. Those who can understand the Tattva Jnanam completely, those can be understood as the Sankhyaha. And Yoga Margam is those people who follow the Karma Marga. They are still not there. They are still not in the Jnana Marga. They are still in the Karma Marga. Such people are known as Yoga, following the Yoga Marga. So these two are still considered the same. The only difference is one has to practice Karma Marga perfectly, samyak. Whatever path you take, whether you take Karma Marga or whether you take Sankhya Marga, you have to follow it perfectly. You have to follow it perfectly to be able to obtain that Tattvajnanam, ultimately. And by this word samyak, what it means is we have to understand where we are properly. We have to understand if we are ready for the Jnana Marga. If we are not ready for the Jnana Marga, then we have to follow the Karma Marga. We have seen this in that story of the king last week. The king was not ready for it, but he thought he was ready for it, and that these day-to-day duties are stopping him from proceeding further. So he will go, but he was not ready. So because he was not ready, he was not able to obtain the Tattvajnanam even after performing tapas for so many years. So once his wife comes and explains it to him, he will understand and he will come back and continue with his duties, which is the Karma Marga. He will follow his Karma Marga, and only when that he reaches that point where that Paripakvam, then he is ready for the Jnana Marga. So we all have to also realize that, and we should not get confused that these are two different paths. It is only that the Karma Marga, we are taking one extra step because we are not ready for that big step. So when something is too high and we cannot climb it, what do? We bring a stool or something, take one step and then reach that above step. If we try to reach that upper step in one leap, there is a danger that we will fall, right? So we take the help of this stool or extra step. So this Karma Marga is like that. We have to take the help of the Karma Marga to reach the Jnana Marga. Without following Karma Marga, we should not attempt to enter the Jnana Marga. Why? Because we will fall down and our path will be destroyed and we will be stuck. We cannot go forward. We will be wasting our time and energy. So that is what this say. And a small an analogy is also given here, like how a farmer, when he is cultivating the crops. So there is a time for everything. He cannot rush into anything. Once he sows the seeds, he has to wait until they sprout. And even after they sprout, he has to wait until they are of a certain length. Only then he can take them and again put them separately, giving them enough room to grow. So after they are grown to a certain extent, only then he can harvest them. He cannot rush before the grain is ready. He cannot rush and cut the crop and harvest. It will not be of any use. So similarly, here also, we have to understand that we have to have that patience to wait until we reach the time when we are ready for the second step. That is what is being told in this shloka. So Sankhya Yogau Prithak Balaha Pravadanti na Panditaha Ekamapyasthitaha Samyak Gubhayor Vindate Phalam. Okay. So any questions in this shloka? Here
Madam,
in
I got small doubt. This I have got small doubt. This product in the first sentence, is it karma visheshanam or kriya visheshanam?
Kriya Visheshanam only.
It is telling about product means Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga, no?
So Visheshanam, Karma Visheshanam will be, it has to describe about the karma more. But here it is saying these Balaha will look at, 1 second Mahodaya. So the Balaha will look at Sankhya and Yoga separately. They are looking or Pravadanti, they are telling or explaining that these two are two different things. So it is not describing the Sankhya Yoga, it is describing how the Balaha are telling about these two.
Similarly, this Astitaha, is it Kartrupadam or Kriyapadam?
It is Kriyapadam with relative to Samyak. It is Kartrupadam with relative to Vindate. All the saPratyayas, so we can take this dual role.
Oh, both roles we can take. Okay.
With respect to Samyak, it is a Kriyapadam. With respect to Vindate, we can take it as a Kartrupadam.
Okay. That's okay. For all the saPratyayas, they will be playing dual role.
So say for example, I will give you a small example. Griham gataha balakaha annam khadati. Griham gataha balakaha. So here the gataha shabda, griham gataha. There it is acting as a Kriyapadam to Griham.
Okay.
Tataha balakaha annam khadati. There it is acting as a Visheshana to balaka.
Okay.
Like that. The Ktha Pratyayas always will take a dual role.
Okay.
Astu. So the next shloka, Mahodaya Bhavaneva Patitum Ichchati va?
Able to read. Reading is not a problem. But only thing is, someone who has picked something. Only the translation may not be that good, but I will read it. Yat Sankhya Prapite Sthanam Tat Yogaihi Apigamyate Ekam Sankhyan Te Yogancha Yah Pasyati Sapasyati Yat Sankhya Prapite Sthanam Tat Yogaihi Api Gamyate Ekam Sankhyan Cha Yogam Cha Yaha Pasyati Saha Pasyati. No, yet is सर्वनाम प्रथम पुरुष जो प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचनम सांख्य तृतीय विभक्ति बहुवचनम. Of course, I am not able to tell linga so much fluently, so I am talking to only vibhakti and
Sankyam is Napumsakam only.
Sankyam, okay, Napumsakam. Prapyate is Lastlakara, Pravapasarga, Apyate, that is Lastlakara, Prathama Purusha, Yakavatanam. Sthanam. Sthanam is also
Napumsakam.
Sthanam is Napumsakalingam, Yakavachana, Yakavachana, Prathama Bhakti or Dvitiya Bhakti, both Sthanam.
So yes, Sthanam. Because you said this is the Prathama Ekavachana, this also you can take as the Prathama Ekavachana. Once we look at the meaning of the shloka, we'll get a better picture whether it is Prathama Vibhakti or Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Dvitiya Vibhakti on that. Tat is Prathama Bhakti, Ekavachanam, Tat is Pullinga only.
Napumsakam.
Napumsakam, Tat, okay, Tat, okay, they are Napumsakangas, okay, Sahasa, okay. Yogaihi is again Tritiya Bhakti Bhagavachanam, Yogam is Napumsakalingam. Api, Avyayam.
Yogaihi. Pumlingaha. Yogaha antam kada Pumlinga.
Yogaha Pullinga. Oh, Yogam not. Yogam not Yogaha, okay. Api Avyayam. Gamyate. Gam dhatu Gamyate Karmani Prathama Purusha Yakavachanam. Yakam is Napumsakalingam. That is Prathama Bhakti Yakavachanam. Sankhya, here it is Napumsakalingas because of Sankhya Yogam. Sankhya. Okay. Cha Avyayam Yogam. Again, Yogam is Yogaha is not your thing, Yogam. That is there in all both Pulinga and Stringa. Yogam means
Yogaha, it is in Pumlinga only, it is Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Ekavachanam. Cha Avyayam. Yaha. Yaha is Pulinga Prathama Bhakti Ekavachanam. Pasyati. दृष्टु पश्यति प्रथमा पुरुष लकार एकवचनं सः तत् शब्दस्य पुल्लिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं पश्यति अगेन दृष्टु लकार प्रथम पुरुष एकवचनं पदार्थ शब्दार्थः यत् स्थानं पदं सांख्यैः ज्ञानिभिः प्राप्यते लभ्यते तत् योगैः कर्मयोगिभिः अपि गम्यते लभ्यते यः पुरुषः सांख्यं च ज्ञानयोगं ज्ञानमार्गं च योगं च योगमार्गं च एकं समानफलं पश्यति वीक्षते सः पश्यति स एव सम्यक् पश्यति अव्ययः यत् स्थानं सांख्यैः प्राप्यते तत् योगः तत् योगैः अपि यत् स्थानं सांख्ययोगिभिः प्राप्यते तत् योगः कर्मयोगिभिः अपि गम्यते. Of course, I'm making more for more clarity. I'm saying कर्मयोगिभिः instead of योगैः योगिभिः I'm making. यः सांख्यं योगं च कर्मयोगं च एकम् एव पश्यति सः एव सम्यक् पश्यति. Because I added more paras for to get more clear meaning. ज्ञाननिष्ठैः तात्पर्यं ज्ञाननिष्ठैः सन्यासिभिः यत् स्थानं प्राप्यते तदेव स्थानं कर्मयोगिभिः अपि प्राप्यते. यः ज्ञानयोगं कर्मयोगं च समानप्रयोजनं पश्यति स एव सम्यक् पश्यति नान्यः. रामानुजीयमतं सांख्याः ज्ञाननिष्ठाः योगाः कर्मयोगनिष्ठाः. प्रश्नः सांख्यैः किं गम्यते? सांख्यैः स्थानं ओके स्थानं means actually it is paramma.
So it is like the Paramapadam. Sthanam here is
Paramapadam gamyate. योगैः अपि किं गम्यते? योगैः अपि कर्मयोगिभिः अपि परमपदं गम्यते. यः पश्यति सः सांख्यं योगं च कीदृशं पश्यति? यः पश्यति सः सांख्ययोगं कर्मयोगं च सादृशं पश्यति. एकमेव पश्यति. सांख्यैः इत्यस्य अर्थः कः? सांख्ययोगं ये सांख्ययोगम् आचरन्ति, ये ज्ञानमार्गम् आचरन्ति. अत्र द्वितीयस्य पश्यति शब्दस्य अर्थः कः? अत्र द्वितीयस्य पश्यति सः एव पश्यति.
सः एव
सम्यक् पश्यति.
So द्वितीयस्य पश्यति इति पदस्य द्वितीयस्य पश्यति शब्दस्य अर्थः सम्यक् पश्यति इति.
ओके सः एव सम्यक् पश्यति. सः एव सम्यक् पश्यति. सन्धिः तत् योगैरपि तत् प्लस् योगैः प्लस् अपि तत् प्लस् योगे जस्सन्धि योगैः अपि रेफा विसर्गसन्धि. स पश्यति सः पश्यति विसर्गलोपसन्धि.
So अत्र क्रियापदं किम्?
क्रियापदं फस्ट् इस् प्राप्यते. एक्चुअली प्राप्यते गम्यते पश्यति.
So प्राप्यते इति क्रियापदस्य कर्तृपदं किम्?
प्राप्यते कर्तृपदं सांख्यैः
प्राप्यते.
सांख्यैः प्राप्यते.
कर्मपदं
सांख्यैः प्राप्यते. बिकास् कर्मणि प्रयोगं सांख्यैः इति कर्तृपदं. कर्मणि स्थानं
यत् स्थानं सांख्यैः प्राप्यते.
कर्म क्रिया. If you want to tell like that, actually the better order is सांख्यैः यत् स्थानं प्राप्यते तत् योगैः अपि गम्यते.
So here one second Mahodaya. So yat is visheshana to sthanam. Sthanam is karmapadam to prapyate. So that is why since it is karmapadam, sthanam and yat will be Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam.
Hmm.
Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam Napumsakalingam. Because the sthanam is Napumsakam, yat also is Napumsakam. Similarly, tat also is Napumsakam, Dvitiya Vibhakti. It is Karmapadam to Gamyate. Tat Yogaihi Gamyate. So Yogaihi is Kartripadam to Gamyate. Tat is Karmapadam to Gamyate. Yat tat will be connected with Nitya Sambandha, because these two sentences are joined with yat and tat. Yat sthanam sankhyaih prapyate, tat yogaih api gamyate. Okay, whatever Paramapadam the sankhyaih means, people who follow the Sankhya darshanam, they whatever sthanam they obtain, the same sthanam who follow the karma marga, they also will obtain. Anantaram. Trutiyam kriyapadam pashyati. Atra kartripadam kim?
Yaha.
Yaha pashyati, saha pashyati. So here yaha and saha are connecting these two sentences. Yaha kam pashyati?
Sankhyancha yogancha yakam pashyati.
Correct. So here we have two kartripadams. Two karma padams. Sankhyam and yogam. Both of these are karma padams. Yaha sankyam yogancha ekam pashyati means he who is looking at these two as one. So ekam will be karma samanadhikaranam. Means that is equivalent to sankyam and yogam. Okay, so we can call it karma samanadhikaranam or vidheya visheshana. Okay, Sankhyam and Yogam are two karma padams here. And for these two karma padams, there is one Videya Visheshana, which is Ekam. Sankhyancha Yogancha Yaha Ekam Pashyati. He who sees the Sankhyam and Yogam as one and the same. Saha Pashyati. So here Saha Pashyati means Saha Samyak Pashyati means he is able to see or understand the Tattva Jnanam. He who understands the Tattva Jnanam will understand that the Sankhya Marga and the Karma Marga means the Jnana Marga and the Karma Marga are one and the same. There is no difference whatsoever. The only difference is the people on the Karma Marga are at a lower step. So they have one extra step to reach the Paramapadam. Whereas people in the Jnana Marga have already passed that Karma Marga step. So they are a little bit more closer. Nobody can achieve Jnana Marga without this Karma. Only a few people. That also will be explained in the next shloka. Some people, if their guru feels that they are ready for the Jnana Marga even before they do the Karma Marga, or maybe they have done the Karma Marga in the previous lives. Now, some people soon after they are born, like Adi Shankaracharya, we can take. At a very young age, he took up sannyasam, right? Why? He was ready for it. He had the approval. So he followed. He did not marry. He did not do all these steps involved in the karma marga. Such step is also there. One can skip that karma marga step, but one has to be ready for it. That is why in the previous shloka, samyak ashritaha, samyak astitaha means he who can follow in a proper way. You should have that knowledge of where we are. Only that kind of persons with the approval of their gurus and the family, only they can proceed. Not anybody can proceed simply abandoning their families. So that is what it means. So Saha Pashyati means a person who can look at the Yoga Marga, means Karma Marga and the Jnana Marga as one and the same. That person is able to see the Tattva Jnanam, is able to understand, perceive. Here seeing means like perceiving, not simply looking with your eyes. It is having that perception that both these margas are one and the same. Astu. So any questions in this shloka?
Hari Om Bhagini. విధేయ విశేషణము అంటే సాధారణంగా కర్తృపదానికి కదా వస్తాయి అనుకున్నాము. కర్మపదానికి కూడా విధేయ విశేషణం వస్తుందా?
ఉంటుంది. Like, say for example, I'm trying to think of a simple sentence. Saha or Guruhu Chatram Jnaninam Iva Drishyate. So here Guruhu is the Kartrupadam. Guruhu Chatram Pashyati. Right? So here Chatram Katham Pashyati, how is he looking at the Chatra? As though he is a Jnani. Okay, so here Chatram is a Karma Padam, but Jnaninam is Vidheya Visheshana to Chatram. So we can say that Jnaninam is Vidheya Visheshana to Chatram.
Okay.
So mostly Kartrupadams will have, but Karma can also have Videya Visheshana, which is not, you don't see as much application with the Karma Padam as we see with the Kartrupadam, but it will be there.
Okay, that's the way.
So to differentiate between the two, that is why the words Kartru Samanadhikaranam and Karma Samanadhikaranam was also in usage. But right now, in this University of Hyderabad, that Samsadhani application, they chose to use only the word Vidheya Visheshana. Once upon a time, they used Kartru Samanadhikaranam, Karma Samanadhikaranam, but for some reason, they changed it to Vidheya Visheshana. So whether it is used with Kartrupadam or Karmapadam, it is called Vidheya Visheshana only.
Astu Bhagini. Dhanyawad.
So here we have completed Shlokanam number 5. Okay. So here in the Ramanujiya Matam, Sankhyaha means Jnana Nishthaha, Yogaha means Karma Yoga Nishthaha. Those who are following the Karma Marga, Jnana Nishthaha are those who are following the Jnana Marga. Okay. So the 6th shloka. Any questions in the first 2 shlokas? Okay. No chet. Surya Bhagini.
Sannyasasthu mahabaho dukkhamaptum yogatah yoga-yukto munir-brahmanachirena-ati gacchati sannyasin shabdam
Sannyasah tu.
Sannyasah tu
Mahabaho.
Mahabaho Sambhavanam Brahma Dukkham Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvitiya Vibhakti
Dukkham Prathama Vibhakti eva.
Dukkham Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam Aptum
Tumunnanta.
Aptum Tumunnanta
Ap dhatoho Tumunnanta.
Tumunnanta Yoga Ayogatah Taprachayam Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam.
This is not actually Ksa Pratyayam, it is Tasil Pratyayam.
అంటే దీనికి భావం వేరేగా ఉంటుందా మళ్ళీ?
Tasil Pratyayam is nothing but the Panchami Artha, like Kutaha. For example, when we say Kutaha, from where? Kasmat, it is like Kasmat only. But the Kim Shabda, when it gets the Tasil Pratyaya, it becomes Kutaha. So this Tasil Pratyaya is used with the Kim Shabda, any Sarvanama Shabda, and the Bahu Shabda. So Bahutaha, Kutaha, Yataha, Tataha, all these come under Tasil Pratyayas. So they act like Panchami Vibhakti, from where? Okay. And also like Hetu also. In the meaning of Hetu also we can use. Not only here the Kutaha is like why also. For what reason? In that sense also we can take. Because tasil pratyaya represents hetu. Yataha, why, because. Tataha, hence. Okay? In that sense we can take.
ఇప్పుడు పంచమి విభక్తి కూడా అదే అర్థంలో వస్తుందా మరి అలాంటప్పుడు దానికి
Panchami
కొంచెం
vibhakti
భిన్నంగా
can take hetu artha and apadana artha. Here the tasil pratyaya can also take both. Yes. Like earlier we have seen, no, like grihat can also say grihataha. That all that taha, wherever the taha is used in place of Panchami vibhakti, it is because of this tasil pratyaya.
యోగయుక్తః
This is Pumlinga Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam.
ఏకవచనం మునిర్బ్రహ్మ మునిః బ్రహ్మ మునిః ఇకారాంత మునిన్ శబ్దం బ్రహ్మ బ్రహ్మన్ శబ్దం నకారాంత పుల్లింగం నపుంసకమే అవుతుందా ఇది నపుంసకలింగం అచిరేణ నా అచిరేణ నా అవ్యయం అచిరేణ తృతీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం
అచిరేణ ఒకటే పదంగా తీసుకోండి.
అచిరేణ అధిగచ్చతి అధి ఉపసర్గ గచ్చతి లట్లకారం ప్రథమ విభక్తి ప్రథమ గమ్ ధాతువు ప్రథమ పురుష లట్లకారం.
నచిరేణ పదము ఎలా తీసుకోవాలి భగిని?
మన నా is like నై తత్పురుష.
తీసుకుంటేనే అదే నా ప్రసద్వేణ తీసుకుంటే అది
పద పరిచయం అడుగుతున్నాను మహోదయ. నేను పద పరిచయం అడుగుతున్నాను, వ్యాకరణ పరంగా అడుగుతున్నాను.
అదే సమస్త పదం
కాదు మహోదయ, నేను అడిగేది సమస్త పదం సరే, నేను అడిగేది ఎలా తీసుకోవాలి? లకారం కింద తీసుకోవాలా లేకపోతే?
లేదు లేదు, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎ క్రియాపదం, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ నామవాచకం ఓన్లీ. See, nachirena, it is in tritiya vibhakti, so a kriyapadam cannot be in tritiya vibhakti.
nachiram or nachiraha, that is samskritam subantam.
एकवारं महोदय भगिनी विवृणोति एकवारं वदतु भगिनी.
So it is a napumsakalinga shabda tritiya vibhakti ekavachana.
అస్తు. ఎలా భగిని నచిరేణ అనేది తృతీయ ఎలాగైంది? అచ్చా ఏనా. అస్తు అస్తు.
So here it will be nachirena adhigachati, means immediately. Like you remember it like chirakalam means for a very long
నచిరం అని తీసుకోవాలా పదము ప్రాతిపదికం?
nachira.
నచిర అస్తు అస్తు.
akaranta napumsakalinga like vana.
సత్యం. అస్తు, ధన్యవాదాలు.
పఠతు భగిని.
పదార్థః మహాబాహో హే అర్జున సన్యాసః తు జ్ఞానయోగః తు అయోగతః కర్మయోగం వినా ఆప్తం లబ్ధం దుఃఖం కష్టం యోగయుక్తః ఫలనిరపేక్షః కర్మయుక్తః మునిః శాంతః పురుషః నచిరేణ శీఘ్రం బ్రహ్మ పరమాత్మానం అధిగచ్చతి ప్రాప్నోతి. అన్వయః మహాబాహో సన్యాసః తు అయోగతః ఆప్తుం దుఃఖం యోగయుక్తః మునిః నచిరేణ బ్రహ్మ అధిగచ్చతి. తాత్పర్యం మహాబాహో కర్మయోగాత్ కృతే జ్ఞానయోగస్య ప్రాప్తిః దుశ్శకా ఏవ కర్మయోగి మునిః తు శీఘ్రం బ్రహ్మ అధిగచ్చతి.
Dushaka is impossible, like
దుర్లభః అధిగచ్చతి. కః ఆప్తుం దుష్కరః సన్యాసః ఆప్తుం దుర్లభః దుష్కరః. సన్యాసః కస్మాత్ కృతే న ప్రాప్తుం శక్యతే. సన్యాసః కర్మయోగాత్ ऋते न प्राप्तुं
प्राप्तुं
शक्यते
शक्यते.
न प्राप्तुं शक्यते कः
Ikkada
ब्रह्मा
rite- Here, one second, Bhagini. Here, rite means without. So, sannyasah, without karma yoga, sannyasah praptum na shakyate.
కర్మయోగం లేకుండా సన్యాసాన్ని
పొందలేరు.
పొందలేరు. కహ బ్రహ్మ అచిరేణ అధిగచ్చతి మునిః బ్రహ్మ అచిరేణ అధిగచ్చతి కీదృశో మునిః అచిరేణ బ్రహ్మ అవాప్నోతి యోగయుక్తః మునిః అచిరేణ బ్రహ్మ అవాప్నోతి యోగయుక్తో మునిః బ్రహ్మ కథం ప్రాప్నోతి యోగయుక్తో మునిః బ్రహ్మ అచిరేణ ప్రాప్నోతి. వ్యాకరణం సంధిః సన్యాసస్తు సన్యాసః ప్లస్ తు విసర్గసంధిః సకారః మునిర్బ్రహ్మ మునిః ప్లస్ బ్రహ్మ విసర్గసంధిః రేఫ యోగయుక్తో మునిర్బ్రహ్మ యోగయుక్తః మునిర్బ్రహ్మ విసర్గసంధిః సకారః రేఫః ఉకారः గుణः నచిరేణాధిగచ్చతి నచిరేణ అధిగచ్చతి సవర్ణదీర్ఘసంధిః సమాసః యోగయుక్తః యోగేన యుక్తః తృతీయ తత్పురుషः మహాబాహో మహాన్ బాహు బాహు యస్య సహ వస్తుంది కదా మహాన్ బాహు బహురిః మహాన్ బాహు యస్య సహ బహురిః తద్దితాంతః అయోగతః నా యోగః తస్మాత్ నై తత్పురుషः అయోగతః అయోగ ప్లస్ తసి స్వార్థే యోగాభావాత్ ఇత్యర్థః.
సో అక్కడ కర్మయోగా భావాత్ కర్మయోగ అభావాత్. సో వితౌట్ కర్మయోగ అయోగతః మీన్స్ వితౌట్ కర్మయోగ,
కర్మయోగం లేకుండా.
సో దట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ దేర్. అంటే హేతు, హియర్ ద తసిల్ is used in the hetu sense because of not having the karma yoga. Ante somebody who did not practice karma yoga, because of that reason sannyasah dukkham apnoti. Ante without practicing karma yoga, if somebody enters into sannyasam, means if they take up the jnana marga, then they will end up with dukkham. So here in this shloka, basically sannyasam, about sannyasam it is given. Sannyasah tu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogatah yogayuktah munihi brahma nachirena adhigacchati. So here sannyasam is explained in two ways. One, like just now we discussed, somebody who has achieved the tattva jnanam completely, okay, he will take up sannyasam, means the jnana marga he will take up. So that is called vidvat sannyasam. He has already crossed the karma marga, he has all the tools that are needed to enter the jnana marga, and he is entering. And another one is like I said, like Adi Shankaracharya, he has not completely in this life, he has not completely crossed the karma marga, because he is already at that state where he is ready for the jnana marga because of his abhyasa in the previous lives. So he is capable of staying or taking up the jnana marga in this life straight away, even before practicing the karma marga. For that, such people can also enter the jnana marga when they are ready, because of the purva janma abhyasa that they have done. Some people, even at a very young age, even before they get married or come into that adulthood, they will be more than ready for that jnana marga. So that is called ashrama sannyasam. That kind of sannyasam is called ashrama sannyasam. They are more than ready. They take permission from their gurus and the family. And the family also will understand that he is more than ready for the jnana marga. So such people, we should not stop them. We should not stop such people from entering the jnana marga for our own needs. We should not tie them up. Because they are ready for it, we should let them go. But he who is not ready cannot enter. So that is why we have to also have a knowledge of where we are. and we have to constantly test ourselves if we are ready for the Jnana Marga or not. As long as we are not ready, we have to continue in the Karma Marga. Otherwise, Dukkham avapnoti. Okay. And so for that, what do we need to do? We have to continuously perform the sadhana. And how to practice sadhana to achieve this this readiness for the Jnana Marga is basically the Indriya Nigrahana, right? So here in this shloka, this word is given. The word Muni is given. Yoga Yuktaha Munihi Brahma Nachirena Adhigachati. So here Brahma means Paramatma, and it is in Dvitiya Vibhakti. So he will obtain the Parabrahma, who the Muni. What kind of Muni? Yoga Yuktaha Muni. Here Yoga Yuktaha, how is it taken? Yoga means Karma Marga. So he who is practicing that Karma Marga. And how should he practice the Karma Marga? Phala. Without the phalapeksha. He who practices karma marga without the phalapeksha, that kind of person, yoga yuktaha, munihi. And here again there is significance for the word munihi. Shantaha purushaha. Here it is given in the book, Shantaha purushaha. There is a little bit more given on this word. So munihi means yaha mananam karoti saha. Yaha mananam karoti. Mananam means constantly thinking. What are we doing? What is to be done? In that way, he who thinks constantly while following the karma marga, he who thinks constantly about what am I doing right now? What am I doing? Why am I doing this work? For what purpose? That kind of questioning should come because it has been told karma marga is there, jnana marga is there. You have to take up karma marga. Then if you practice it with Shraddha, you will enter into the Jnana Marga. If that is simply said, can we understand how to practice this Karma Marga? We think, okay, I am doing all my duties. So why am I not ready for the Jnana Marga? This Samshayam will be there. And Samshayams need to be cleared. So how to practice the Karma Marga? That we don't have the clarity yet. So this particular word, Muni, will give us that clarity. So yaha mananam karoti saha munihi. So what is this mananam here? Constantly. Why are we all are blessed with this life? So what is the purpose of this life? Everybody is doing something in their life. So we have to question ourselves, why am I doing this? What is it that I want to achieve in this life? So one way or the other, everybody is looking for happiness. That ultimate happiness we are looking. The paths might be different. One might obtain the happiness through their career. One might obtain happiness through serving their family. Another person might find happiness doing something else. But whatever they do, the reason that everybody is doing what they choose to do is for happiness. Because at the end of the day, they want to be happy. Now then we have to question, okay, that is fine. Finding happiness is not wrong. But what kind of happiness are we looking for? Do you want a happiness that is permanent, which is there forever? Or do you want some tatkalika happiness? Like today I go watch a movie, eat something and come home. I am happy. But is that what I really want? Or something permanent? Because whatever happiness that I get through all these materialistic things is definitely not permanent. So today I will be happy. Maybe for a few days I will be happy. For a few months I will be happy. But there will be some point where I get tired of this whatever thing that is giving me happiness. And then again I am in search of happiness. So then I will again find something. Then again I will enjoy that for a few months or years. And then again I get tired of that. I want something new to make me happy. So we should understand that all these things are giving us only temporary happiness. So for that permanent happiness, what do we need to do? That is through karma marga, how do we achieve that? So there are steps for this. There are again steps for this. First, we have to understand that all these vastu that are around us, the materialistic objects, are ashashvatam. That we have to understand. So once we realize that these are all ashashvatam, then slowly we will start losing interest in them. So it will become easy for us to get detached to them, right? So that is the first step. We need to understand that all these vastu that are around us are ashashvatam. Even the relationships, they are ashashvatam. So once we understand that, then it will be easy for us to lose interest in them. Anantaram. Anantaram, what needs to be done? How to understand that these are ashashvatam? We have to understand this knowledge that these things are ashashvatam. These are not nityam. These are not sat. These are asat. That knowledge, once we get, then that vivekam is there in our mind. That vivekam. Every time we see something, that vivekam comes in and tells that is asat. Okay, so don't fall for it. That will be there today, it will not be there tomorrow. So that vivekam, if we develop, constantly that will come. Whenever our manas is trying to get attached to something, that vivekam will come and tell, don't get attached. That is not permanent. It will not give you permanent happiness. So that will come. With that constant abhyasam, constantly, vairagyam can be achieved. Again, vairagyam, don't take it in the Telugu language meaning. In Telugu language, it means like losing interest in everything and not in a not in a good way. Here, it is in a good way. Here, this vairagyam is in a good way. Means you are detaching yourself from things, but still you are doing your work with utmost shraddha. You are taking care of whatever your job is to do. You are doing that with utmost shraddha. Just because you have a virakta bhava, you have detachment with that thing, it is not like you are not taking care of it. Even though you know that your relationship with your family members is not shashvatam, you don't just leave it, right? We take care of our family members with utmost shraddha. Why? Because it is our duty, but we should do that without attachment. It is not this is my family. That possessiveness, with that possessiveness we should not take. Okay, we should be able to take care without any kind of attachment. So slowly that vairagya bhavam will also develop. Once that vairagya bhavam develops, but which is very difficult, that is because, why is it difficult? Because of the dussamskaras we have gained from our previous lives with, because of our ajnanam. Because of our ajnanam, we have done many, we have developed or accrued dussamskarams with our not very good karmas. So now that we are realizing how to get rid of that dussamskarams that we have gathered up until now, by doing satkarmas, constantly doing satkarmas, repeatedly doing satkarmas, we can nullify the dussamskaras that we have gathered until now. So once that dussamskaras have completely been nullified, means if we are completely on the satkarma charana, without any kind of attachment, without any kind of ragadvesha, without any kind of phalapeksha, if we continuously do with shraddha, then our dussamskaras will get nullified at some point. If we continuously practice this abhyasa, then the dussamskaras will get nullified. Then we will get kusamskarams. All the kusamskarams will get destroyed, and they can be destroyed only with satkarmas. And once this satkarmas we practice, all the ragam, kamam, Ichha, Trishna, Kanksha, all these will be removed. We will overcome all those emotions. We will overcome raga, we will overcome kama, we will overcome Ichha, we will overcome Kanksha. All these are Paryaya Padani only. Basically, we will overcome all our ragadveshas. And then the Indriyas and the Manas will come under complete control. And the Indriyas and Manas coming under the complete control is called Shamam and Damam. Okay, then we will obtain that. This is the fourth step. The first step is to lose interest in this Ashashvata Vastuni. The second step is, by constantly practicing the first step, we will obtain Vivekam of the Sat and Asat. of the Shashvata and Ashashvata Santosham. We will get that Vivekam. That is the second step. The third step is just Vivekam. With Vivekam, if we constantly practice this Satkarmacharana without any Ragadvesha and all that, then Vairagyam will be obtained. That is the third step. And with Vairagyam, we will obtain Shamam and Damam. Shamam is the Indriya Nigraham, the Karmendriyas and the Panchendriyas, whereas Damam is the Manas Nigraham, controlling the Manas. So these two we can obtain. Once we obtain this, once we obtain the complete Nigrahana of the Indriyas and the Manas, then what happens? We can use these as the sadhanas. We can use these as the sadhanas to obtain the state of Nirdvandva. If you remember that shlokam where that Nirdvandva has to be practiced, right? Means Sukham or Dukkham, we take it in the same way. Whether we have some fortune today and some misfortune tomorrow. Nobody should be able to tell us just by looking at us that today we have obtained some fortune and tomorrow we have obtained some misfortune. Our state of mind should be the same in both cases. So that is called titiksha. Okay. So that will be obtained with using this shamam and damam as our sadhanas. We will obtain this state of titiksha, which is also known as sannyasam. Okay. It is also, there is one more word, uparati, and then sannyasam. So sannyasam is nothing but the complete state of that calmness, that complete state of the mind being at complete ease without any kind of disturbances. That's sthita prajnata. Okay, that you can obtain after practicing all these step by step, because we don't know. People keep saying Indriya Nigraham, Indriya Nigraham. How are we going to control our Indriyas without knowing the nature of them and where to start? These are all the questions that we have as common people. So for that reason, all this is explained in that extent. So our immediate interaction with the Indriyas is with the objects around us, right? So the minute we understand that these objects are not Shashvatam, then automatically, slowly, we will try and develop that viyogam or detachment with that vastu. Once we know, right? Initially, it might be difficult, but with the constant abhyasa, it will become easy to let go of things. To let go of things, like how a new mother, okay, with her child, can she let go of her child initially? No, she cannot even think of it. When the child is in the baby stage, if she thinks about how am I going to let him go when for college or school, forget about college, even for school, it is beyond her imagination how she is going to let go of him for those few hours at school. But slowly, she will watch everybody else sending their kids to school. So she will train her mind to that, and she will be able to send without any sadness, and understanding the fact that by sending him there, he will gain some kind of knowledge. So like that, how she practices that vivekam. Once that vivekam comes to her mind, then she will get that strength to let go, right? So like that, similarly, in the same fashion, we also have to practice that abhyasa so that we will be able to let go of things. So with that, and one step at a time, we will obtain this sannyasa. That's all. So these are all the samagri. These are all the samagri that are needed to obtain moksha. So now when we say, I want to attain moksha, if I simply say that, will it happen? If I simply say, I want to build a house, will that simply happen? I have to gather the material that are needed to build a house. So I have to have the bricks, I have to have the cement, I have to have other things. Only then I will be able to build a house. Without gathering anything, without doing any work, if I simply sit and say, I want to have a house, I want to build a house, it will not happen. Similarly, here also, if we want to achieve moksha through the Jnana Marga, we have to follow the karma marga first. And the karma marga also, there is a way that we have to practice karma marga. Simply doing our daily jobs without any kind of consciousness. How am I doing this? Why am I doing this? That kind of questions should arise. So only then we will be able to practice that detachment. Otherwise, we will always find ourselves in this attachment. And we will not even realize that we have that kind of attachment unless something comes, right? Today you think this is your house. Tomorrow, if somebody comes and says, this is my house, like taking over. Like a common example is like mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. So as long as the daughter-in-law comes into the house, the mother-in-law thinks she's the whole and soul of the house. But when the daughter-in-law comes in and tries to take over certain things, if the mother-in-law is not ready for that phase, if she is not ready to let go of that ownership of that house, then what happens? Conflict happens. So she should also be prepared. So tomorrow my daughter-in-law is going to come. She will take over the house. I have to let go of it. My era is over. My ownership is coming to an end. I have to give in. So that if she doesn't prepare herself in that way, then there will be a conflict every day. So that kind of abhyasa we need to do. So here also we need that kind of abhyasa. And these are all the steps. These steps are our samagri to obtain that sannyasa. Okay. So that mananam, just that word muni, will have so much. That mananam. What is that mananam? Constantly reminding ourselves, what are we doing? How are we doing? How it should be done. So with constant mananam, we will be able to do it for everything, not only here, right? For everything, mananam is only the thing that will make us achieve something. We tell our kids the same. You constantly think about it. You constantly listen to it. You constantly, work on it. Only then we can be successful. Whatever, no matter what the field is. Any field, if we need to succeed, that mananam should be there. Similarly, here also, that mananam should be there. What we are doing is a little different, but mananam should be there. Even when we can apply the same detachment in everything that we do, but the shraddha should be there. Many people, we tend to forget the fact that when we say detachment should be there, they completely leave it. They don't care what happens to it. That is not detachment. We should have the utmost shraddha, do whatever is needed to the best of our ability, but without attachment. Like how we expect our maids to work. We expect them to clean our house as if it is their own house. But are we ready to give our ownership to them? No, we don't. We know, and she knows that she is not the owner of this house, but she has to clean it as though it is her own house with utmost shraddha. We expect that from her, right? But we are not ready to part our house with her. So similarly, we also have to do our duties with utmost shraddha, but we should not be attached to it. Even though it is our own people, even though it is our own thing, we should, because we think that it is our own thing, but it is not. When we say we or I, it is Atma. So these materialistic things have nothing to do with that Atma. So that difference also we have to observe. That will come in the next, in a couple of shlokas. But basically that is the meaning here. And we deviated a little bit. So here the Kriya Padam. What is the Kriya Padam? This sentence structure is a little tricky to name the relations. Like sanyasaha, the first sentence especially. Sanyasaha tu ayogataha aptum dukkham. Okay. So here there is no proper Kriya Padam here. Sannyasa.
Madam, I got a small doubt. Dukkham aptum, some helping verb, bhavati, vartate, asti, vidyate, like that something we have to add, because aptum is incomplete verb.
That is what
these are the general things what we are. Bhavati, vartate, asti, vidyate. Generally, these are the helping verbs we have to add to such things.
1 second. So that is why here in the Anvaya, it is given as sanyasaha ayogataha aptum dukkham. It will give us dukkham. Aptum dukkham. It will give us dukkham. Here aptum is not like regular tumunnanta where the prayojana is meant. Now, if I say balakaha pustakam pathitum vidyalayam gachati, there the pathitum, it is a tumunnanta and it is indicating the prayojanam. The prayojanam of the boy going, gachati, vidyalayam gachati. Why is he going? The purpose of the gachati is given in this tumunnanta, patitum. Patitum gachati. But here, this is not a prayojanam. He will obtain dukkham. There is no prayojana sense here in this tumunnanta. So this tumunnanta is a little different. Both are tumunnanta. Suffix is the same. Everything is same. But the meaning that it is contributing towards the sentence is a little different. So here we have to take it as sahayaka kriya, because it is helping understand why the dukkham is there. Why is there dukkham? The dukkham is being obtained. For what reason? Ayogataha. Ayogataha is where the because of the karma yoga not practiced properly. Ayogataha. Because the karma yoga is not practiced properly, because of that reason, sannyasaha aptum dukkham. The sannyasaha will obtain dukkham.
అంటే
So,
దుఃఖం పొందడానికి ఇది ఆప్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు అన్నట్టుగా ఉంది. దుఃఖం పొందడానికి ఆప్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు అన్నట్టుగా ఉంది మీనింగ్.
పొందటానికి కాదు, పొందటానికి అని మీరు అన్నట్లయితే దట్ విల్ బికమ్ అగైన్ ప్రయోజనం. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ప్రయోజనం. నోబడీ వాంట్స్ దుఃఖం. Nobody is doing something to obtain dukkham. But because of the lack of karma yoga sadhana, automatically dukkham will be there. In that sense, we have to take. Okay, so that is the difference between the tumunnanta here and in other cases. Here, aptum dukkham. He will obtain dukkham. That's all. Dukkham pondadaniki atanu karmayogam ni viduvatledu. Karmayogam viduvatam valana dukkham ochindi. In that sense, we have to take. So it is a little tricky. This sentence is a little tricky. So aptum dukkham. Just like that, we can leave. Aptum dukkham. For now. Okay, we will think further, like how Mahodaya is proposing. Normally, when there is, for example, Ramaha Uttamaha. Ramaha Uttamaha Balakaha. Ramaha Uttamaha Balakaha. Here there is no Kriya Padam, but the sentence we use like that many times. Ramaha Uttamaha Balakaha. But Asti is there. Indirectly, though we don't explicitly state, Asti is there and it fits into the sentence. So here also we have to try to think of a proper Kriya Padam which can fit with this meaning. Asti cannot happen. Sannyasaha aptum dukkham asti. We cannot say like that. No, it is not proper. So let us get back.
Bhavati can be done, madam. Bhavati. Bhavati.
Bhavati. So sannyasaha ayogataha aptum dukkham bhavatiya.
Bhavati.
Still there is an outcome, whether it is desirable or not, it's happening. కదా అయితే ప్రయోజనం ఉంది, దుష్ప్రయోజనం కావచ్చు, కానీ ప్రయోజనం అయితే ఉంది మీరు అన్న టర్మ్ ప్రకారం. సో భవతి అని కావచ్చు, అనుకోకుండా జరిగింది, అప్పుడు ఏమంటాం?
సో దుఃఖం భవతి, సన్యాసః దుఃఖం భవతి అయోగతః. దేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫైన్, బట్ సిన్స్ ఆప్తుం ఇస్ దేర్, హౌ టు పుట్ ఇట్? దట్ ఈస్ మై క్వశ్చన్.
ఆలోచిద్దాం.
We'll think about it and come back.
Think about it and discuss on the group and ఎక్కువ టైం పెట్టుకో.
So anantaram, the second sentence, adhigachati is the kriya padam. Kaha adhigachati? Munihi adhigachati. Kidrishaha munihi? Yoga yuktaha munihi. So yoga yuktaha is visheshana, munihi is kartrupadam. So munihi kam adhigachati? Brahma adhigachati means parabrahma, means moksham. So this is karma padam. Katham adhigachati or kena adhigachati? Nachirena. Okay, nachirena adhigachati means immediately, without any delay. So he who practices proper karma yoga path, immediately he will go into the jnana marga and he will immediately obtain. So nachirena is kriya visheshana to adhigachati. It is kriya visheshana to adhigachati. Okay. So any questions so far?
Hari Om Bhagini. ఇందాక తితీక్ష అన్నారు కదా, దాంతో పాటు ఇంకొక పదం వాడారు నకారంతో.
ఉపరతి.
అదేంటది?
ఉపరతి. ఉపరతి.
ఉపరతి. ఇంకోటి భగిని
ఉపరతియే సన్యాసంకి ఇంకొక వర్డ్. ఉపరతి is another word for సన్యాసం. తితిక్ష. తితిక్ష means having that ద్వంద్వ యుక్త pravritti, means sukham or dukkham. Both, he who can take both equally, that state of mind is called తితిక్ష.
తితిక్ష రెండు హ్రస్వతికారాలు.
రెండు హ్రస్వతికారాస్.
అస్తు. ఇంకోటి భగిని, ఇది నచిరేణ, దానికి విగ్రహ వాక్యం ఎలా తీసుకోవచ్చు? నచిరమ్మ, నచిరం తేన, అంతేనా?
అంతే.
అప్పుడు మరి తృతీయ తత్పురుష రాదా?
తృతీయ తత్పురుష కాదు. ద సమాస వర్డ్ ఇస్ ఇన్ తృతీయ విభక్తి, బట్ ద సమాస ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇస్ నై తత్పురుష.
ఓకే, అంటే నై తత్పురుషాలు తీసుకొని నచిరం తేన అని విగ్రహ వాక్యం పెట్టుకోవాలి.
దట్ తేన ఇస్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద as per the sentence.
అస్తు భగిని, అర్థమైంది. ధన్యవాదాలు
భగిని. మీరు చదువుతారా నెక్స్ట్ శ్లోక?
చదువు
మేడం. ఇక్కడ తితిక్ష అనేది సెకండ్ కా చి దీర్ఘం ఉన్నట్టుంది మేడం. తితిక్ష ఎక్కడో, తితిక్ష నా తితిక్ష, ఐ థింక్
తితిక్ష రెండు ఉన్నట్లున్నాయి మహోదయ.
అందులో భగవద్ ఇంతకు ముందు శ్లోకాల్లో ఎక్కడ తితిక్ష అంటే సహనం అని అర్థం వచ్చింది అక్కడ.
తితిక్ష ఇస్ దేర్. తితిక్ష ఐ హ్యావ్ టు చెక్.
I think as per my remembrance, I may be wrong, but there the meaning given is sahanam, ఓర్పు. అంటే నిర్ద్వంద్వ స్థితికి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఓర్పు సహనం కావాలి కదా, రెండు. అందుకోసం సహనం అన్నది మోర్ దాకా భావిస్తుంది. మరి తితిక్షను తీక్షను నాకు గుర్తుంది. అది
హ్రస్వమేనండి. తితిక్ష రెండు హ్రస్వం చాలే.
అంటే పిపాస వాటిలో ఇచ్చంటే ఇది సన్నంతోషలో సాధారణ దీర్ఘ వస్తుంది. పిపాస, జిజ్ఞాస, జిగీష, అలాగా సహనం, సహితం, ఇచ్చ అని నేను అలా మెయిన్ లో అలా రికార్డ్ అయింది. అది
యోగయుక్తో విశుద్ధాత్మా విజితాత్మా జితేంద్రియః సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతాత్మా కుర్వన్నపి న లిప్యతే. యోగయుక్తః విశుద్ధాత్మా విజితాత్మా జితేంద్రియః భూతాత్మన్ వా భగిని.
సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతాత్మ, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ సమాస వర్డ్, సో you don't have to split it
together. Okay. సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతాత్మ కుర్వన్ ప్లస్ అపి న లిప్యతే. యోగయుక్తః కుర్వన్ ప్లస్ లిప్యతే. కుర్వన్ అది శత్రంతం కదా.
శత్రంతం.
యోగయుక్తః పుంలింగః ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం. విశుద్ధాత్మ ఆత్మ నకారాంత వా భగిని.
నకారాంత పుంలింగ ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం.
నకారాంతః పుంలింగః ఏకవచనం. విజితాత్మ ఆల్సో, విజితాత్మ ఆల్సో ద సేమ్ థింగ్. జితేంద్రియః ఆల్సో సేమ్ థింగ్, పుల్లింగః ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం. సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతాత్మ ఆల్సో
ఇస్ ఆత్మన్, లైక్ నకారాంత. జితేంద్రియ అకారాంత.
అకారాంతః, ఇవన్నీ నకారాంతాలు. ఆత్మ ఆత్మ అని వచ్చినవన్నీ నకారాంతాలు, తక్కిందంతా అకారాంతం. కుర్వన్ తకారాంతః కుర్వత్ శబ్దః ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం. అపి అవ్యయం, న అవ్యయం. లిప్యతే కర్మణి వా భగిని.
లిప్యతే కర్తరి ఏవ.
కర్తరి ఏవ వా. కథం వివృణోతి.
లిప్ ధాతోః లట్లకార ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచన ఆత్మనేపది. సో కుర్వన్నపి Sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. See, everything is in Jitendriyah. Kurvannapi. Jitendriyah karma kurvannapi na lipyate. So everything is in like kartari prayoga only. So lipyate is kartari only.
Okay, well. अस्तु भगिनि।
पदार्थ
पदार्थः योगयुक्तः कर्माचरणयुक्तः विशुद्धात्मा विशुद्धचित्तः विजितात्मा स्वच्छशरीरः जितेन्द्रियः इन्द्रियनिग्रहवान् सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा सम्यग्दर्शी कुर्वन्नपि आचरन् अपि न लिप्यते न बध्यते। లిప్యతే అంటే బధ్యతే కిందకి తీసుకోవాలా?
అంటే అంటదు అని.
ఓకే
మేడం, ఇక్కడ కర్మనిలా కనిపిస్తుంది మేడం. ఇది ఇది ఆత్మనుభూతి, ఇది కర్మనిలా కనిపిస్తుంది. కుర్వన్నపి కర్మఫలాత్ న బధ్యతే.
అంటే ఇక్కడ కర్తృపదం లేకుండా కర్మపదాలే ఉన్నాయి అంటారు మహోదయ.
యోగయుక్తః విశుద్ధాత్మ విజితాత్మ జితేంద్రియః సర్వభూతాత్మా భూతాత్మా కుర్వన్నపి కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి న లిప్యతే.
బంధాత్ కర్మఫలాత్ మనం అధ్యాహారం తీసుకుంటే ఇక్కడ బధ్యతే అనేది లిప్యతే అనేది కర్మని ప్రయోగంలో నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది.
సో హియర్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద కర్మపదం?
కర్మపదాలు ఇవన్నీ కర్మపదాలే భగిని, విశేషణాలతో ఉన్న కర్మపదం. జితేంద్రియ అనేది కర్మపదం కింద తీసుకుంటే తక్కిన అన్ని విశేషణాలు అయిపోతాయి.
కరెక్టే. సో వాట్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్ దెన్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద కర్తృపదం హియర్?
ఇవన్నీ యోగయుక్త కర్తృపదానికి విశేషణాలే. ఇది యోగయుక్త కూడా కర్తృే. కుర్వన్నపి కార్యం కుర్వన్నపి
కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి
కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి కార్యం కర్మ కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి బంధాత్ న బధ్యతే కర్మాత్ న బధ్యతే.
కర్మని తీసుకుంటే ఇది ప్రథమ రావాలి కదా మహోదయ.
కర్మం కుర్వన్నపి కర్మేణ న లిప్యతే. నేను అలా అనుకుంటున్నా, నా అండర్స్టాండింగ్.
హియర్ ఇఫ్ యు లుక్ ఎట్ ద తాత్పర్యం, 1 సెకండ్, ఇఫ్ వి లుక్ ఎట్ ద తాత్పర్యం, యథార్థదర్శీ చ పురుషః, పురుషః పెడదాం ఈ అడ్జెక్టివ్స్ అన్నిటికీ బదులు. పురుషః కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి తేన లిప్తః న భవతి. సో కర్మేణ న లిప్తః,
కర్మేణ న లిప్తః అట్లా తీసుకోవచ్చు.
సో కర్మేణ న లిప్యతే. So here karmena we have to take as the kartrupadam, then lipyate karmani prayoge kriyapadam. So karmena na lipyate means the karmas won't touch him. Karmena yoga yuktah na lipyate, karmena jitendriyah na lipyate, karmena sarvabhutatma bhutatma na lipyate. Atla like that we have to take. Yeah, lipyate we can take it as karmani.
అస్తు భగిని.
కర్తరి ప్రయోగమే అనిపిస్తుంది భగిని. అట్లా విధంగా చేసిన వాళ్ళకి చుట్టుకోవు అనుకుంటుంది.
అంటే ఇక్కడ తాత్పర్యంలో తేన అని ఇచ్చారు కదా, మనకి యకారం కూడా ఇచ్చారు, యకారం కూడా వచ్చింది.
లిప్యతే, if we look at the lipyate in this one, let us look in Ashtadhyayi lipyate, ashtadhyayi.com. Let us see if it is given as kartari or karmani. It is given as atmanepadi bhavakarmanoho only it is given. So karmani prayoga eva. So since it is in karmani prayoga, lipyate, karmena na lipyate. Karma cheta atanu antabadadu or effect abbadu, however you take it. He will not be touched. He will not be touched by the karmas. So karmena na lipyate. Karmena purushaha na lipyate. Karmena vishuddhatma na lipyate. Karmena vijitatma na lipyate. So lipyate is karmani prayoga only.
Astu bhagini. ఇంద్రియ నిగ్రహవాన్ ఇదంతా అయిపోయింది. కుర్వన్నపి ఆచరణపి న లిప్యతే న బధ్యతే. అన్వయః యోగయుక్తః విశుద్ధాత్మా విజితాత్మా జితేంద్రియః సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతాత్మా కుర్వన్నపి న లిప్యతే. తాత్పర్యం యోగయుక్తః విశుద్ధచిత్తః స్వచ్ఛ శరీరః జితేంద్రియః యథార్థదర్శీ చ పురుషః కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి కర్మేణ తేన కర్మేణ లిప్తః న భవతి. మాధ్వమతం యః ఇంద్రియాణి మనశ్చ సంయమ్య తాని భగవతి ఆదాయ తం సర్వోత్తమం స్వస్వామి ఇతి మనుతే తస్య కర్మజన్యలేపః నాస్తి. కర్మజన్యలేపః నాస్తి. కర్మజన్యలేపః అంటే కర్మతోటి జనించిన ఫలితము అంటుకోదు అని తీసుకోవాలా?
కరెక్ట్.
ఇంద్రియాణి మనశ్చ సంయమ్య తాని భగవతి ఆదాయ తం సర్వోత్తమం స్వస్వామి ఇతి మనుతే తస్య. ప్రశ్న.
He will not be touched by the karmas. Anything that is born with the karmas, that will not touch him. Ante karmajanya lepaha means, say for example Arjuna, he is killing the people. That is a karma. Whatever comes out of that karma, it will not touch him. When we say the karmas won't touch, what do we mean? The phalam of the karma will not touch.
Yes.
Whether it is papam or punyam, it will not touch us anymore. So we will become, all our bandhas will dissolve. Good. We have to dissolve even the good bandhanas, not only the bad. Even if we accrue good bandhanas, we will have rebirth again to spend those good bandhanas. So to attain moksha, both good and bad bandhanas should be dissolved completely. And that is only possible through detachment. Phalapeksha kriya. Only through that. Even when we are doing good also, we should not.
Phalapeksha rahita kriya.
So even when we are doing good, we should not feel that, oh, I am doing this, I am doing this, I am doing so much of good. If we feel like that, then that is a kind of attachment. And once that attachment is there, that phalitam also will be there. And that attachment will form, that bandhanam will form. And as long as that bandhana is there, we cannot enter the jnana marga. Okay, the questions, Bhagini.
కహ కుర్వన్నపి న లిప్యతే. కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి. కర్మ కుర్వన్ వా? కాదు. కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి ఏవ. యోగయుక్తః వా? కహ అన్నాడు కదా. ఓకే. జితేంద్రియః.
Bhagini, you can take any of these, yoga yuktaha or vishuddhatma or vijitatma.
వీటిల్లో ఏదైనా అస్తు. సర్వభూతాత్మ కీదృశో భవతి. కీదృశః భవతి. ఎలా తీసుకోవాలి భగిని?
So again, here also, sarva bhutatma means, that word, what it implies is he who looks at everything, all the bhutas, all the sarva bhutani, he looks at them as the Paramatma. So what kind of a person will look at everything as Paramatma?
జితేంద్రియః భవతి వా?
జితేంద్రియః విశుద్ధాత్మా.
అదంతా అన్ని విశేషణాలన్నీ ఏదైనా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. అస్తు. విశుద్ధాత్మా ఇత్యస్య అర్థః కః? విశుద్ధాత్మా ఇత్యస్య అర్థః శుద్ధ శరీరః, స్వచ్ఛ శరీరః. చిత్తం. శుద్ధ చిత్తం వా?
The manas should be purified. Manas or chittam, anything you can say. That he who has that shuddha chittam can be called as vishuddhatma.
केन युक्तः कर्म कुर्वन्नपि तल्लेपं न प्राप्नोति तेन कुर्वन्
केन युक्तः योगयुक्तः
योगेन युक्तः वा
योगेन युक्तः कर्म कुर्वन्नपि तल्लेपं न प्राप्नोति.
ओके. विजितात्मा इत्यस्य अर्थः कः? विजितात्मा इत्यस्य अर्थः स्वच्छ शरीरः. अस्तु.
स्वच्छ शरीरः वै विजितात्मा.
स्वच्छ शरीरः इत्यर्थे कर्म డిటాచ్డ్ కర్మ చేస్తూ ఉన్నవాడు అనుకోవాలా?
So he who has conquered the indriyas, can we say? So he who has conquered the indriyas will have that detachment with the sharira also.
Okay.
In that way we can take as the swachha shariraha.
సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్ కి నాకు డౌట్ ఉంటుంది.
ఏది బైని?
సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్ కి ఆన్సర్ లిప్తః నా భవతి ఆన్సర్ అని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను.
సర్వభూతాత్మా కీదృశః భవతియా?
కీదృశో భవతి. లిప్తః నా భవతి కాదా?
కర్మేణ లిప్తః న భవతి. Yeah, we can కీదృశః. Yeah, you can tell that also.
వీళ్ళందరూ ఇట్లా చేసిన వాళ్ళందరూ లిప్తులు కారు, బద్ధులు గారు.
కర్మ కుర్వన్నపి న లిప్తః.
లిప్తః నా భవతి అంటే మనకు అక్కడ తాత్పర్యంలో ఉంది ఆ ఫార్మ్. ఎందుకంటే నా తెలియ కాదండి.
లిప్తః న భవతి కానీ ఇక్కడ న లేదు కదా. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు సే
కీదృశః అంటే ఎలాంటి వాడు అయి ఉండొచ్చు అంటే అంటని వాడు, ఇలాంటి వాటికి అంటి ముట్టనట్లు డిటాచ్డ్ గా ఉన్నవాడు అని తీసుకోవచ్చు భగిని.
యా. So here in the first question already that only is asked. Kaha kurvannapi na lipyate. So there again all these words can come. Yoga yuktaha kurvannapi na lipyate. Vishuddhatma kurvannapi na lipyate, like that. Here sarva bhutatma kidrishaha bhavati. So and he who has that he who looks at Paramatma in everything, he who looks at everything and thinks of it as the Paramatma himself, what kind of a person is he? Or who can look at everything and look at Paramatma? Yoga yuktaha. With abhyasam only you can obtain that. In that sense we'll take.
Okay. Astu. Dhanyawad.
The question, if it can be more clear, if it is more clear, then we can apply that second one also. Karmena na lipyate.
అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇది అది తీసుకోవచ్చు, ఇది తీసుకోవచ్చు భగిని, రెండు రాసుకోవచ్చు. ఈ ప్రశ్నలకి మీరు అన్నట్లు రెండు తార్కాణాలు రాసుకోవచ్చు. వ్యాకరణం సంధి యోగయుక్తో విశుద్ధాత్మ. యోగయుక్తః ప్లస్ విశుద్ధాత్మ విసర్గ సంధి సకార రేపః ఉకారః గుణః. కుర్వన్నపి కుర్వన్ ప్లస్ అపి గముడాగమ సంధి సమాసః. యోగయుక్తః దృశ్యతాం. 5వ 6వ శ్లోకం చూడమంటాడు. యోగయుక్తః యోగేన యుక్తః తృతీయ తత్పురుష. విశుద్ధాత్మ విశుద్ధః ఆత్మ యస్య సహ. విజితః ఆత్మ ఏన సహ బహువ్రీహి సమాసః. జితేంద్రియః జితాని ఇంద్రియాణి ఏన సహ. జితాని ఇంద్రియాణి అంటే గెలవడమా? దాన్ని ఓవర్కమ్ చేసినవాడా?
By whom all the indriyas have been conquered.
Okay. సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతాత్మ. సర్వాణి భూతాని సర్వభూతాని కర్మధారయః. సర్వభూతానాం ఆత్మభూతః. సర్వభూతాన భూతాత్మ భూతః. షష్ఠీ తత్పురుష. సర్వభూతాత్మ భూతః ఆత్మ యస్య సహ బహువ్రీహి. 3 సమాసాలు ఉన్నాయి.
So the second one is important for us to understand properly. Sarvani bhutani, sarva bhutani, visheshana purvapada karmadharaya. That is simple. Sarva bhutanam atma bhutaha. So he who sees in all the bhutas, sarva bhutanam atma bhutaha. He who looks at all the bhutani as the Paramatma itself. So that is a sarva bhutatma bhutaha. And he who has that vision in him, sarva bhutatma bhutaha atma yasya saha. And he who has that quality of looking at everything as Paramatma, that person is the sarva bhutatma bhutatma.
Samyak darshi bhavati atla ankola. Sarva bhutatma kidrisho bhavati sarvena samam pashyati samyak darshi.
Astu.
Kridantah bhutah bhuta pratyayah kartari.
Astu. Any questions?
మేడం ఇక్కడ విజితాత్మకి జితేంద్రియాకి జితేంద్రియ అంటే ఇంద్రియాలను జయించిన వాడు. ఇంద్రియాలంటే మామూలుగా మనం జ్ఞానేంద్రియాలని అవన్నీ చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఇక్కడ విజితాత్మ అంటే మనస్సు సెపరేట్ గా చూస్తే విజితాత్మ అంటే ఇంద్రియాలని మనస్సుని కూడా జయించిన వాడు అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఆ తేడా చెప్పుకోవచ్చా?
చెప్పుకోవచ్చు.
ఎందుకంటే ఇంకో చోట ఎక్కడో వేరే శ్లోకంలో అన్ని ఏ కర్మలు చేయకపోయినా విషయానుభవాలను మటుకు స్మరిస్తూ ఉంటే ఈ కళ్ళే విమూఢాత్మ అని ఏదో ఒక శ్లోకంలో వస్తుంది కదా. అందువల్ల విజితాత్మకి విజితేంద్రియాకి విజితేంద్రియుడు ఇంద్రియాల నుంచి జయించాడు. బట్ విజితాత్మ కాంక్వర్డ్ ఈవెన్ ది మనస్సు ఆల్సో. But even in Manas, he doesn't think of Indriya Bhoga.
Yes.
That difference you can think of. And just maybe my opinion may be correct or wrong, I don't know.
It is correct only. We can take it like that. But close, all these words are very close. Like even Vishuddhatma, Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Yaha Chitta Shuddhi Hi Saha. We can take it like that. So he who has a Chitta Shuddhi again relates to Manas. Chittam means Manas. So he who is pure at the Manas. And he who has the Manas also under control. Like that, all these are little close in meaning, we can say. But we can show that little differentiation. Okay. So we shall stop here and continue in the next class. Alivelu Bagni.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। धन्यवाद भगिनी, नमस्कारः। सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः। नमस्कारः।